Coach, if you will, open the statement and we'll open it for questions.
It's been great to be back in camp. We're going on week 3 right now. Got a good football team here in place. The guys been competing at a high level. Got close to probably about 104 guys right here on campus right now. But just a good carryover from how hard the guys been working all summer long. They've been doing a great job of it. We got some really explosive players on both sides of the ball. Just working with the chemistry now. New coaches here on both sides of the ball as well. But been a great camp thus far.
Coach, any position groups that have stood out to you the most from the start of camp to now?
It's one that I had a big question mark going into this season about. It's the linebacker group. Our coaches have done a great job of recruiting those guys. There's some players over there that's really stepped up. Ashton Taylor, Reed Pulliam, those guys are playing at a high level, as well as Austin. But that was the one big question mark going into the season we wanted to get better at. So I would definitely have to say the linebacker room.
Is there a better sense of comfortability for you now that you've been here in a season before?
It is. It started back at SWAC Media Day. Just walking around, I had just a different comfort level. But the kids give me that comfort, and these coaches, the work that they put in each and every day, just seeing them flying around. I know we have the makings of a good football team, but definitely totally different from last year. This is year 2 going into this season. We got a lot riding on this. And this football team knows it. This coaching staff knows it. I know it. And we were ready for game 1 on the 29th with Louisiana Monroe.
Coach, what's your quarterback competition looking like right now?
It's looking good. We got 3 guys right now out there playing at a high level. Of course, Zion Jacobian and the newcomer Cam, the transfer that came in here this year. They're competing. It's been a friendly competition, but they know, you can only play with one at that position. All guys bring something a little bit different to the table. Cam has great speed. He really likes to use his leg, but still at the same time, he has a strong arm. Jacobian, he's a player that did some good things for us last year, ended the season 3-1 for us. He understands the SWAC, knows what it's like. But like I tell all 3, it's the guy that can go out there and the team believes in, this coaching staff believes in.
Now with that first game coming up, Coach, what's just the mindset of the team? What are you telling your guys? Because it's coming up close.
It is.
What's just the message to
Take care of what we can take care of, and that's how hard we work each and every day. Take advantage of the practice, the meeting time, the meeting rooms when you're meeting with your position coaches. The game is the game. We got to go out there. We're playing an FBS opponent on Thursday night, and we know the clock is ticking on that. But just take care of what we can handle, and that's just getting better each and every day. Get stronger in the weight room and continue to come together as a football team.
Coach, you talk about having more comfort this year. A lot of new coaches on staff, and kind of rearranging some that were already still there. Has that kind of helped you out, or what's that process been like with the new additions?
It's actually been awesome. It's been great. You think these guys been knowing each other for a long time, but the thing that we wanted to bring in that I really wanted to emphasize with these new additions was the energy. If you out there at practice, these guys are just as energized as the players. You could about suit them up and let them play. I mean, you talk about Chris Orr, Collie James, Javancy Jones, Vincent Marshall, Manny Ramirez. All of those guys are coaching and bringing a different energy this year out there each and every day, and it's translating over to the players right now.
The SWAC Media Day, you talked about putting a heavy emphasis on making sure special teams was good. Has that been an area of emphasis throughout camp?
Oh, definitely. Since day one we walked in here for camp, we talked about getting better with special teams. Some of the letdowns we had last year on special teams was just, a thorn in our side, and we had to, for one, improve the depth there and the talent over there, and I thought we did a good job of that. And Coach Jones has been doing a great job. Javancy Jones has been very detailed in the teaching on that, and like I said, he's brought a different energy here. Those guys really love him to death. Him being a former alum, he really takes it to heart. So I'm excited for the way the special teams have been improving each and every day.
Going back to the quarterbacks, do you see a situation where they could play a couple of them in that first game, or is it going to be one guy?
We'll do whatever we got to do to go win, right now. But you want to be able to play one guy. That's the goal. You don't want to have a carousel of quarterbacks rolling out there. To me, it shows a team that's kind of going, we talk about chemistry. Those guys, those other 10 guys out there got to believe in that one guy to me out there. So, you know, we're going to get that right. You know, we don't want to be, you know, a 2-quarterback system and trying to figure it out week 2, week 3. You know, we want a guy to take the bull by the horns and go with that guy.
So you don't see a situation where you could use one guy as a package in certain formations? You just want one guy?
Yeah, I prefer to just have one guy out there.
And Coach, when you talk about some of that chemistry, how's the chemistry looking on your team just as the time has progressed? So you know your veterans when you guys have been coming in.
It's going well. You know, we've been at it since the beginning of the summer. So, you know, it's going real well. These veterans know, you know, they know how I coach, my expectation, my demands on each and every day. And they just, you know, took those young guys under their wing, all those transfers we had to come in, they took them under their wing and just say this is the way we do things on each and day in, day out basis. But it was the summertime. You could see a change throughout the summer. Those guys really did a good job of working together.
What do you think about the trenches, both sides of the ball, offensive, defensive line? Are they a lot better, more improved this time last year than previous year?
Strength in numbers. Strength in numbers. We got close to 20 guys on the offensive line in camp right now, probably about 16, 17 on the D-line. And all of them are pretty talented guys, but it goes back to, we were talking about the coaches. Coach James coming in here from Florida. I mean, he gets after it out there on the football field. He's a sight to see. And Coach Manny Ramirez on the offense, with that offensive line, he's a great teacher. You know, I love to just go and sit in his meetings because the things that he's relating to those guys, it translates well to the football field for the O-line. But my deal with that, I just wanted to get the numbers up, you know, with injuries and things like that, and also make sure we had the right guy leading in each of those rooms.
Coach, what's the biggest thing, not the biggest thing, but the biggest things you've learned as a coach? You mentioned that you're more comfortable now. In what ways do you feel more comfortable going to year 2?
Well, when I got the right people around me and players, you know, when I just see the explosiveness on both sides of the ball and, well, in all 3 phases on special teams and stuff like that, you know, you're building something right. You're doing it the right way. When you, a lot of smiles in the building, everybody's kind of getting along. We talked about the chemistry and just the players playing hard, the energy is different. You know, it makes my job easier on a day-to-day basis, but it's those people around me as well, the trainers, equipment. I got a new DFO here this year, so, you know, all those people make my job a whole lot comfortable.
Is it kind of like confirmation that you made the right hire?
Definitely.
Because you mentioned advancing his
Yes,
team.
no doubt, no doubt. I mean, we had a lot of turnover, you know, after year 1. We did have a lot of turnover, but this time I had time to take my time and go get the right people. You know, I did want to make sure that I got the right people in here. This, you know, share my vision, you know, and it's going to come in here and like we talked about, just going to bring a lot of energy and knowledge to the game.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about your kickers?
Which one? We got a bunch of them.
I know you got one was hurt last year. He's back.
G-Baby Gerardo. Yeah, he's back. He's looking real healthy. He's leading the charge right now over there, but we've got LL is back. Who else? Matt back punting. We've added Ballard, another kicker, and then we just got another kicker in last week from California. It won't look like that ever again when we down and we don't have somebody out there to kick the ball. But we wanted to. That was a big emphasis for myself and the coaches to make sure we got competition at every position. No matter if it's long snapper, no matter if it's a punters or kickers, we want to create competition at each and every position. And those guys are out there competing. You know, you talked about Gerardo G-Baby being back, but he knows he's going to have to work for that spot because Ballard is pushing him, you know. So that's what we wanted to create, and that's why the practices are so intense.
Coach, do you like having these early starts to the season in terms of, like, you know, playing on Thursday nights? Do you like having that early start? Would you prefer more time?
Man, it don't matter to me. You know, I'm just ready to line up and play. I'm ready to see these guys go out here and get after it. I was just telling them at the conclusion of today's practice, they tired of looking at each other at this point. You know, they ready to get after somebody else. So whether it's week 0, you know, that following week of a Thursday, it doesn't matter to us. If it's on the schedule, we're going to be ready to play.
Coach, you talked about your quarterback, but what is the running backs from?
Pick one. You know, you can basically pick one. But we got a freshman over there that's looking really good, Travis Terrell out of Georgia. Is going to be a special player. You still got Irv coming back. You still got J.D. Martin back out there. Ahmad Miller is still here. You know, Desmond Moultrie is still here. Nate Blunt, a local kid from Brandon, is having a great camp. There's just so many of them over there that can run the football, but all of them kind of bring something a little different to the table. But, you know, a great group of players right there.
portion of that, what's it like just seeing the bevy of local talent, contribute? I know you got some guys in the portal coming back, Taekwondo, and a lot of those other guys. What's it like just having a bevy of Central Mississippi guys make an impact?
Well, that was a big emphasis when I, was named head coach. I wanted to make sure that we continue to recruit the Mississippi talent because it's deep. It's deep, and those guys, a lot of time they go off and they don't work out quite as well for them. But, we give them a second chance here, and then we did a good job of recruiting those high school kids as well. A lot of them, the families I know, from my days here growing up in around the city and playing at Jackson State. And they're good players. Like I said, we talked about the Nate Blunt, Zy McDonald, Jacobian, Morgan that played quarterback for us, and the list goes on. But we're going to continue to recruit Mississippi right here local because there's a lot of talent right around here.
Anybody else? Coach, appreciate it.
Good. Thank you.